Stream. It's Monday, and this week we're going to be looking at character creation. And so let's start. Now then, we have here in our creation world, just a blank world, we have our player and we have a wandering villager. Now, when you're doing character creation, you've got options to change the way they look in the character studio, and you've also got the option to add attachments to make them look completely different. So first of all, let's have a look at the character studio. Here is the character studio. You have your character. Now first of all, you have the body, of which you have no options to change. The shape of the body, the type of body, whether it's a male or female, is fixed. You can't change it. There's nothing you can do. You can't change their height other than scaling them up to make them bigger. You can't, or smaller. Basically, you're fixed with the model that you've got. Head, well, this is a male figure, and it'll only give you male heads. So you can't put a female head on a male body and vice versa. You can't put a Yeti head onto a character. You can't mix and match at all. You're fixed. These are the heads that you've got. And what this does is just changes the face to these various faces, some of which are a little odd. That's the standard one. That's the one that you get with the default player. If we look then at hair, again, you've got the same difficulties here. Hair is fixed, male hair, female hair. You can't put female hair on a male character, etc., etc. And these are your really ridiculous options that you have for hair, or you can have a bald head and no hair at all. And then there's a mustache option. Various mustaches that you can put on your character, or no mustache at all, and same with beard. Now, as you can see, the beards and mustaches, everything, and hair seem to be randomized into the color that they are. That is unfortunate, but you can change the colors of everything. So let's go back to the body. Now, we couldn't change the size of it, we couldn't change the shape, but we can, by pressing Y, change the skin color. So let's make him a Martian. There we go, we made him green. And this is all to change their undergarments. Now, this will become apparent when we take their clothes off. You won't be able to see it yet, but let's give him blue undergarments with a white strap, and we'll see what that looks like when we look at the clothes. Okay, so we've made his all the colours there. Now, we've already changed the skin for the body. The skin for the body and the skin for the face are the same. So if I change the skin again, it's going to change it everywhere, not just on the face. So you can't change the face to be a different colour to the body, so you're all fixed with the colours there. You can change their lips, the colour of their eyes, the colour of their eyeballs. Now this can create some interesting effects. We'll just make his eyes totally black, and suddenly we have a different look altogether. We can make his mouth black. That's the inside of the mouth. Make his lips black. Suddenly he's looking a little bit more alien. So there we go. So we can change all of that. And then we go back to the hair, press Y. And there's 3 channels for the hair. Let's give him black hair. Should we give him black hair? Actually, no, let's give him green hair. Let's give him green hair. Highlight it so it's green. Totally green now. He's green. Okay, so actually it's a bit blue, isn't it? Let's make it a bit more green. There we go. So we now got green hair on our guy. I don't think I want a beard or a moustache or anything else. So then you got your option of clothing. So let's look at the clothing. Head. You can change various helmets. Various things. Some of them cover the face. Some of them just cover the head. They're all very useful. We're going to do that with him. Now we can change the colour of it. Now we've put something on him. So we're going for a dark look, aren't we? So dark. And I think I'll make the symbols red. Yeah, I quite like that. That's working. Right. Okay, so there's the head. And I've lost it. After all of that, select it, then change the colour. Otherwise, you lose it all. And this is the problem with Project Spark. Is like there's the metal. Do I want to change the metal colour? There we go. That's what we'll do. Right. Okay. So we now go to the chest. And you've got things like this golem armor, the knight tunic, necromancer's ridiculous outfit, the peasant's shirt, and you can change the colours of these things quite simply. So choose it, then press Y. So what we're going for? We're going for black, aren't we? Black and red, I think. So black for that. I think the trim. Make the trim black as well. And make that leather a deep red. That looks pretty good. Quite happy with that. Now the back piece. There's a few backpacks you can put on. I don't want backpack on my man, so we can take that. We forget that. Now hands, there's various gloves that you can put on him. I don't think I'm going to put gloves on my man. Oh, I don't know though. They're quite nice. No, some of the gloves are I think are a little bit too large, but. There you go. So let's look at the legs options. A lot of these are very, very similar. I mean, that's Harkon pants. That's night pants. Seriously, there is no difference other than the colour. What was the point? Okay, then we've got peasant pants, night pants, peasant pants. Very little difference. Very subtle. Then you've got Seth's pants, so it's very like skinny legs. Scoundrel pants, which is a little bit more baggy. Ranger pants, even more baggy. And I think that's what I'm going to go for. So select, then colour. And then we go to the feet. So you've got Ranger boots and Harkon. Look at the size of these boots. And you cannot change the size of them. They are fixed. There's nothing you can do. Some of these are absolutely hideous. I think that's the least offensive boots that there are, so let's go for that. And I think I'll give it a green trim. The green trim at the bottom. And the buckle, I think, will make it silvery colour. Right, okay, so there's my man. I've now changed it. Now you can add weaponry and all the rest of it. So I've created a character now. That's a nice Martian-y character, but he doesn't look particularly alien. So let's have a go now at making something a little bit more alien using this woodland villager. Okay, so we're going to go back in. Actually, we'll copy him. So that was our first attempt at making a Martian. Now we're going to copy him and we'll go back into the character studio and we're going to take all his clothing off because I think that makes it easier. So chest, empty. Legs, empty. Feet, empty. Head, empty. Now we can see the blue underpants that we created with the white stitches. So if you wanted to make a Hulk character or something like that, I mean, okay, he's not big enough. You would use the brute model for Hulk, but you can see how that might work out for you. Right. So now we have taken all of our bits and pieces off him. Now then, we want to make him more alien. So let's see, what can we do? Well, we could, for example, use this. I think like this, and then another one on top like that, and immediately we've got some sort of alien model there. Something simple. Let's just make this green to fit. So we make it green. Yeah, make it green to fit the legs. So that'll do. So it's the same colour. I'll make that one a little bit smaller. Okay. Now we haven't attached that to anything. And I think if I rotate this, that's it. I don't. Ooh. Rotate this a bit like this. Okay. I think I'm going to use that as an eyeball, and so I'm going to use something else for the body. So maybe the leather ball, I think. Okay, so we put in the leather ball. I'm going to make it green to match. There we go, it's a bit green, and then I'm going to change the physics on this to make it fixed. And I think this way we've got, this is much more alien. There we go. And we can rotate this a bit like that. There we go. I think that looks quite good. So now we attach this to, we're going to be careful here, the chest, and this one to the head. Okay, and now we'll see. We've got wandering villagers. You see, we have an alien, and there he is, wandering around. It's an alien character, and you could use that. Anyway, now obviously you've got hair, arms inside that body, which is not ideal. However, doesn't really matter in terms of combat. Let's make him an enemy. Brain gallery. Enemy brain. A simple enemy brain. Let's see. Right, we're making an enemy. He will come and attack me. Or he will attack the villager. No, come and attack me, right? The arms will come out in a fighting stance. So that sort of works. And when he runs, you can see his arms. So it's sort of okay. Not ideal, but it's alright. And you see how simple that was? I just took two objects, coloured them, stuck them on my man, and voila, I have a brand new enemy that doesn't look like anything else. It's not a goblin, it's something new. So, how simple is this? The other option is to create legs and arms for it. So let's see, what can we find that would be suitable legs and arms? Not sure that it's perfect for this, but there's an iron bar. There we go. There's an iron bar. Let's make it smaller. And that's as small as it will go. Which is no good to us, right? Because then that's the problem with an iron bar. There we go. That's the problem with a lot of the props. They look like they'll do the job, and it turns out actually no, it's not going to do the job. Right, these are going to be our legs. So we're going to attach. Let's get them out of the way. So we're going to attach them to that leg. And attach that one to that leg. And you see that the way that I do this, this is not way a lot of some other people use the in Brain to do it. Let's see what that looks like. Yep, he's now got some legs. Now we can see the player's legs underneath that, which is not necessarily what we want. So what we can do now, and this is where the difficulty gets in, because I've covered up, so I'm going to have to do this, move this away, then go in, properties, appearance, visible off. Now that is only the player, that is not his attachments. So now player is invisible. So you can't see his legs now. Those legs are his legs. But we could also not see his arms. So when he attacks us, he's just swinging his body at us. But in actuality, he's actually hitting us with fists. But we can't see them. But it still works. I think that's okay. And of course, you could attach something to his arms. But bearing in mind, you're going to get this effect where things seem a little bit unconnected. Now, for some objects, some things that looks okay, and others it looks a bit rubbish. So if you can, try and cover your character rather than make it invisible, because you get a slightly better effect than this slightly disembodied leg effect that we've got going on here. Let me show you an example of that. So I'm going into my character models that I made. What would be a good option? Here's my Queen of Hearts. She's got a lot of bits and pieces, but let's just worry about all her bits and pieces. Let's delete all that. I don't want all that. I just want the character model. Okay, so there she is. Now, I've given her a skirt using an asteroid, and I've given her a big head. And I've made hair and all sorts of things. And made her some fancy shoes with hearts on. And that's a brand new character, but as you can see, I haven't used new arms and legs. I've just used colour, and it's still a brand new character. If you look at that up against a woodland villager, that's clearly completely different in style than this. Just by putting a brand new head on it. Okay, so we've had a look at adding things to woodland villagers, and this is what we get, and it all works all really, really well. But let me show you how the animations are different on different models. So what I'm going to do now, and I think I'm going to have to delete our lovely... Actually, let's turn his brain off. Then he won't attack us. Brain, false. I move that back in. It is very difficult to get hold of the character once you've got attachments around it. Let's turn her brain off, so she won't attack us either. Okay, so let's make a snowman. Why not? It's nearly Christmas. I think the easiest snowman you can make is a light bulb. And glamorous really, but actually no, let's use a sphere. Okay, so we've got our primitive sphere and our light bulb. So appearance is on, and we'll turn the power off. So it's not a light bulb, it's just a shape. We'll make it a little bit bigger. Okie dokie, there is our snowman. Now, it's a head and a body. Now, I'll show you different effects that you would get with this. So let's start off with a villager. Let's just grab a woodland peasant. There we go, wooden peasant, down he goes. Okay, so we're going to attach his head and his body separately. So there's his head attached to his head, and then that's his body attached to his body. Now this is the problem, he's moving around like a good one. It's a pain in the backside. So you go into Character Studio, attachments, and he stops moving and puts his hands out. Then we grab our light bulb and he stopped moving, which is lovely, and we can move it and rotate it and get it into position how we want it. That looks good to me. And then we can grab our sphere. Now we're going to have it so that we can see the village. So that his arms are white, which is really handy, and he's got a little scarf on, which is quite good too. So there we go. There's our snowman. Right then, let's see what happens with that. There's our snowman, and he's walking around. He's got legs, and you know that's all right. I mean, you could put a face on him and all sorts of things, but there you go. There's our snowman, and that's what he looks like. Okay, now then, let's lower this to the ground. Right, we'll still attach it to the head, and it's still attached to the body and the head. And you'll notice that now it's detaching itself. So let's see what that does. Obviously we can still see the villager, but let's just see. Now your snowman is walking around. Right, so we'll make him invisible. Right, now let's see. Now we have a villager walking around with the snowman. And it works fine while he's doing this. And it's all great. Now what happens when we try to talk to him? Greetings, adventurer. All good? That all works? That's lovely. There might be some animations that will break this. I'm just waiting to see if there is at some point he'll do an idle animation or something. But no, he's okay. That looks fine. So there we go. There's our snowman attached to a wooden bridge. Now you can, instead of what we just did there, we've got the light bulb attached to his head. Let's attach the light bulb to the body instead. So now you haven't got that worry about it being detached and moving about. It's together. You haven't got that separate movement of the head, but that still looks good. And that's fine. So there we go. There's our snowman. Like that. Now, that's how he moves when he's attached to a woodland villager. So let's unattach him. I think I've unattached him. Yeah, I have. Right, okay. So here's our light bulb on top of our snowman. Okay, so now let's attach him to something different. Let's attach him to Farjo the Money. Put Farjo down. And we'll attach our snowman to Farjo. Oops, I've grabbed the light bulb by mistake. There we go. So we stick that on Farjo the Money, and we can cover him entirely. Lower that down a little bit. There we go. Now let's see. Now we have completely different animations, so we have completely different movement. Obviously there's a we've got an invisible villager there, which we didn't delete, but hey, there we go. So there's our snowman with Farjo the Money.
Somebody come get me!
And he has all the animations and the effects.
Some money over here.
Like that. You walk into him and he does that because that's what his brain is designed to do. Obviously you would change the brain and let's get rid of our villager. Change the brain and everything. But that's what he does when he's attached to Farjo. So let's move up out of the way and let's unattach him from Farjo. And let's try something else. Let's attach him to a Void Fiend. There's a Void Fiend. And we will attach him to our Void Fiend. Move it into place. I think if we make it a little bigger, we can swallow up our Void Fiend. And if there's any little hands come out, that's okay, because that'll look like sticks. Right, now then, what do we get now? It's a much faster movement. And that's what he does. Has a Void Fiend inside there. So that's how he moves. So it's a slightly bouncier movement. And as you can see, the animation is different, so that our character looks different. And it's quite funny. It's like he throws his chest out in order to attack us. That's quite funny. Sometimes you get happy accidents like this. And now we've got a character that is coming at us and thrusting its chest at us as an attack. And that's quite effective for a snowman. And because he's slightly bigger, we've got other options now of what to do with him. So let's decorate him up a bit. We'll put a hat on him, shall we? Now there is a hat. There's a leprechaun hat, which is a sort of top hat. And we can very easily scale that up, stick that on its head. And as you can see, now we've got a more interesting character. Let's attach it to its head. There we go. Immediately we've got something different going on. I think we'll tip that back a bit on its head. There we go. That looks pretty good. And of course you can colour that and change that. Now we want to give him some sort of a face. Now the problem you have with creating faces is there isn't that much options. There is googly eyes, but there's no noses, no mouths, which does make it a bit awkward. And of course he's moving about, so it's probably best to detach and do all this before you start attaching it to models. I mean, we're doing it the wrong way around, but we would have had a plan. I think a bigger eye. I think a big eye is what we want. There we go. And now we've got a couple of eyes, and we want to attach those eyes. Now we've got the problem I can't grab the eyes because the light bulb is bigger than the eyes, and therefore it won't work. This is why you have to attach first, place after, which is ridiculous, but there you go. Attach, bump, attach, bump. And because I just moved the light bulb back, I can just move the light bulb. I can't move the light bulb now. What am I talking about? Okay, so we're going to put its eye in there. Now these are blinking eyes. They will blink. There we go. And then we'll stick that light bulb back on the head, and let's have a look at that. Oh, I didn't attach it. Stupid me. Oh, he's attached now. There we go. And we've got a character now with some eyes that are staring at you. It's horrendous. Okay, he needs a nose. So, I think I pointed out in my other stream that a rock spire is the way to go for a carroty nose. Okay, let's make that orange. There we go, we got an orangey nose. We want to rotate that like that. And we need to scale this down so that it's the right size for a nose. I think I need to rotate it. Oh, it'll do. Obviously, you're going to take more time at your character creation than I am taking here. What has happened there? What have I done? Oh no. I've attached it to the wrong thing. Hang on. Something has happened. I've got attached to something I shouldn't have. Yeah, I've attached it accidentally to that villager over there. How ridiculous. Okay. Right, let's attach our nose. I mean, this is coming along. Whoa. There we go, he's got a nose. I think he needs a mouth. Now, there's not much option for mouths. You can make things. Let me. Now the dragon jaw has got lots of teeth. So we'll take that a bit more. Let's just see, what does that look like? Oh, that's terrifying. What the? He's sort of grinning. That is horrible. Right, but what can we do with the colouring of this dragon jaw? I think we're going to have to move it out of the way. Let's see, what have we got? Stone A. Stone B. I think that still needs to be white. Stone C. Hard to say what that is. Oh, it's that bottom bit there. So we need to make that white, I think. What about that? Okay. So we've put a sort of mouth on it. That's horrible, that really is. It's evil. And now that I've done it, I see attach first, then place. because once you've got it into place, you won't be able to grab it. It's a horrendous thing. What's it attached to? Right, it's good. Right, so now move it into place. And then we're sticking it on there, aren't we? So again, attach first. And place. Ooh. So there we go. We've got a really horrendous looking snowman that's terrifying in all the wrong way. Oh no, that's awful. Oh dear, dear, dear. Oh well. I don't know. It's not Project Spark though, is it? I mean, that's not a goblin. You have loads of those in your game attacking you. I mean, it would look unique. Let's face it. Okay, so that's our character goblin that's sorted. Right. Okay. And let's just move it out of the way and turn his brain off because I don't want him to be attacking me. Okay, so we've seen various ways that you can make your characters and make alterations. So you can use colouring and clothing. You can make attachments and make them invisible, or you can make attachments and have them visible. All of these options are available to you, or you can enclose your animal, creature, character within your design. So there's your options for character design. I said I was going to do a whole week of character design, but to be honest, that's pretty standard for what you need to know. So there's nobody in chat to give me some suggestions, so I'm all alone and nobody's here to give me suggestions. So I might have to come up with something else for tomorrow to do with character creation. What shall we do? Let's make robots. We'll make robots tomorrow. And as there is nobody here, it's very difficult to know what else to do. Okay, so we've got our character creations over there. Let's see, what can we do? Let's see what I have created and see if there's anything interesting. Now, animals is the most difficult thing to make in Project Spark, especially four-legged ones. You may have noticed the lack of four-legged animals in Project Spark, and it is frustrating. But you can make your own, though it is difficult. And the only four-legged animal that you really have access to is a wolf, and that's not always ideal for making your characters. So here is an alternative. Now this is my giraffe, and as you can see, it does work with 4 legs. That is pretty appalling. It's missing his paws, I notice. So he looks like he's walking on bones, which is rather unpleasant. This was, and unfortunately, I do not know who the creator was. It was very early on, and I think you can see there are various connectors and ropes connecting so that when this leg moves, this leg moves. And when this leg moves, because they're connected by crossing over. I think if I can lift it. No, I'm going to end up lifting lots of it. There we go. There we go. You can see it now. You got crisscrossing going on, so that the legs will move with the character, and the character legs are attached to the player legs. It's not ideal, and you do get some real weird stuff, but it does allow you to make animal models. Now let's have a go with the wolf and see what the limitations are with a wolf, which is our only four-legged creature. There we go. Let's use the femur bones and see if we can make ourselves a skeleton wolf. Okay, we'll rotate that up. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And we want to attach that one to that, and that one to what's happened? Right, that one to that back one, back knee, and that one there. I'll put those in place. Okay, so we've got 4 legs. We'll make him invisible. And let's see what we've got. Now, there's our 4 legs. And there's our creature walking. And as you can see, it is a bit odd. It does look a little strange. Okay, so let's attach a body. And a head. So we'll attach the horned skull. Attach that to the head. And this is where we start getting difficulties. Head. Alright, I'm going to attach it to his head. Like that. Now there is a vertebrae. Let's see. Yeah, maybe the spine. Let's see if we've got a full. We do. Okay, there's the spine. We'll make it a little bit bigger. Okay. And we're going to attach that to the body of our wolf. Move that into position. And that looks a bit twisted, doesn't it? There we go. Let's try that. Down a bit more. Right. Let's have a look, see if we got a skeleton wolf. Actually, that is not bad at all. That's pretty cool. And it doesn't matter that the legs are slightly detached from the body and everything, and that you get that weird effect. There we go. So we have ourselves a sort of skeleton creature there. Now if we wanted to bulk it up. Now, the problem we got here is this wolf is... It really and truly... makes it very difficult to design anything with it in place, because you can't really see. As you can see, it's just like you can't really see. So we're going to have to move everything over to the side. I'll leave the legs, I think, for now. Right, so we want to put a body on this thing. I'm going to use the plush stuffing. Because it's fluffy. And I think we'll make it a little bit bigger. Is that too big? It's a bit too big. Right, and then we'll make it black. Okay. Right, we're going to detach our vertebrae from our wolf, because it's almost impossible to design anything when it's all leaping about. So that's our spine. We can use that as a guide. Stick our fluffy stuff on. So you've got to imagine these are that's the front legs. Got the back legs round about there. So we've created a body for it. And we'll multi-edit this entire thing here. We don't want that one. And we'll glue. And then we can attach our fluffy body to our wolf. Sort of like that. Put the head back on. Now then, what have we got now? It needs some height. But we're starting to get a creature, I think you can see. So pull this back over here, because it's a bit flat on top, isn't it? So got to detach it. That's a bit better. And we've got to do the same with this face. Okay, we need to... Oh, I've... Oh! trying to make it into a living creature rather than a bony, skeleton-y creature. Okay. Like that. Now, where are the googly eyes? There they are. Give it a pair of eyes. Again, you know, I'm not the world's. I'm doing this quickly, and this is not how you would do it at all. That's not worked out very well. You would, first of all, you wouldn't be doing it right up against everything else. You would be trying to do this in isolation because it's very difficult to try and do this sort of thing when you've got things in the way and you're connecting up. Right, come on, where's your head? Oh, that's your leg. I want your head socket. Oh, that's your head. Oh! Leg, all the time. Oh, how annoying. Now, if you get this problem where you just can't grab the socket, then you go into the brain, you go into the Carrot Studio, attachments, add new, world picker, pick your object, and head. It's now attached to the head. And you can move it into place, like so. And we're going to attach our body to our wolf body. And in it goes. And what have we created? Some hideous monster. There we go, it's a sort of vicious goatee sheep thing. Now you can do some, that's not too bad. I mean, it acts like a wolf, it sounds like a wolf. There are things you can do with the sound effects, and I can show you how to do that maybe next time. But my hour is near enough up, about 58 minutes. But as you can see now, we've created our vicious goatee rammy sheep thing. We've got a snowman, and we've got an alien that we created, and that didn't take hardly any time at all, and very little preparation and very little skill, to be honest. And that's the wonder of Project Spark. You can create whatever you imagine, and sometimes things that you can't even possibly imagine. And there are happy accidents as well for lots of things. But there you go. This is what you can create. So I will see you all next time, and we'll see what else we can make with our characters. Thank you for watching. I hope you watched it on YouTube. I will be putting it on there when I can. Thank you very much then, and bye.